Hello and welcome to Stir Crazy Arts Classes with Gerald Savine, lesson number 19. We can continue doing the still life of the apples in the dish. So just to finish off a bit more of the drawing here, you can see there's a hole where the fruit's going in like that. Where over here we got a bit of a dip. And we've got the stem coming out here as well. Over this side we can see a bit of the stem showing up, and here we can see the top of the fruit there. Now also what I've got here is we've got them resting on some old Victorian books, so I'm going to come across there, and that's coming towards me here. So a bit of old perspective going on in this one. There's a slightly different angle here, and the dish is overhanging the spine of the book. So again here, nice good line across there. So it's given almost like a tabletop. But again, there's a bit of character in the book, and you see the spine of the book here, and again, because quite an old Victorian book is actually all about vets and things, veterinary books that I was inherited. Again, it's just interesting to be able to put in some of the lines in. We'll see how that goes when we come to start painting. But again, because it's because of perspective, these are going that way, and as it comes across this way, these will be going gradually in that direction. We won't get too fussed about this, but we'll just give a bit of interest extra to the picture. Right, so now we are ready to get on with doing some painting. I think we can start off with perhaps doing the dish, because again, remember, it's better to work with lighter colours first, then working to darker colours. We could perhaps put some of the yellow. That's, if you look there, you can see some of this fruit's got the yellow background, some of it's red. So let's put the yellow on first. That gives it time to dry out a bit before we put the reds on top, and then we can do this in between. So try and think about the order that you'll be doing things in. Now I'm going to put a bit of yellow ochre into my pot, and again we might take longer than another 1 or 2 sessions to get the painting finished. But I mean, if you like to, I'm going to put just a dab of the cadmium yellow pale into it as well. Just to, it's not quite a yellow ochre colour. It just might be more helpful to do that. Now I'm going to use for this. In fact, before I start doing that, again, I'm going to get my things in the right order. I'm going to pick up some of the cadmium yellow pale. Don't want it too thin, but again, we don't want it. You get experience. The more you paint, the more experience you get. Now I'm going to paint the sort of stripiness into there, and that'll, when we come to put the red on, it'll change things a bit. There's a bit of I can see a bit of striping here, so I'm just putting a bit of background yellow, which we over painting with the red later on. And again here, can you see also that I'm taking the brush strokes, following them through the shapes of the apple. So again, it all helps. It's amazing, just as I said before, how much the brush strokes dictate how a picture looks and how the direction of things. So again here, this apple here is going away from us. So again here, we're going to take the colours up in that direction. There's not too much here, because there's just a suggestion of the yellow here. Again, coming round there. It's quite light there. I've got a window on my right hand side now, so we've got the lights coming from the left, whereas before we've had it coming from the other side. Now again here, I'm going to bring the colours round this way. The thing is, obviously, when you're working, you can knock back the pencil lines, but obviously you need to see the shapes that I've already put in. So here, this one's got a lot of the background showing up. Red's quite broken up. So again here, can you see how I'm just taking the colour round? I hope that's strong enough for you to see. I'm going to put perhaps be a bit cheeky and put a bit more of the yellow in so it shows up better. But it's just amazing how you apply the paint really helps to give shape to what you're painting. So again here we're going away because of apples going that way. Here the apple's coming down. There's a hint of a bit of yellow here, so I'm going to put a bit of thin bit of yellow on, so just onto this. Not a lot. And in fact in there as well there's just a hint of yellow just sort of through there. You can be quite quick, there's even a touch of green in there which we'll worry about later on. Okay, so we've done that. So whilst that's, okay, as I'll keep, you see, as I talk about looking, as I'm looking more and more, I can see that in fact, there's quite a bit of yellow underneath the red here, but I'm not putting it on too strongly because I don't want it to kill the red when we put it on. But again, remember, when we're painting, we paint with the light. Usually, there's always exceptions. Start off with the light colours first. So now I'm going to mix up some of the yellow ochre. I'm just going to try it on the paper here a little bit and see what I like. Do I like that? It's a bit too brown, so I'm going to pick up a bit of the lemon yellow to go. Can you see? That's softened it down a bit. It's still not quite the right colour, but that you just have to get on with life, as it were, and not get too fussed. It's again here I'm adding the darker colour, the yellow ochre to the lemon. Now hopefully I've got enough, so I've got a feeling I haven't, so I'm going to have to put a bit more yellow in. But I'd rather sort of spend a little bit more time with these paintings now to really sort of help you to really get into what you're doing, and it will take time. I'm afraid that my poor wife Janice here is having to hold the camera steady, and I have to say it's not easy for her to do this, but she's being a good old stick for me. Oh, should I say good young stick before I get kicked? And I'm going to thin this down now because it's just a bit strong. So again, by thinning this down, when I come to apply it to the paper, it'll be much lighter. Now, I think what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to bring colour through here. And you see, it's not a perfect match to the original, but again, we're going to have strong reds showing up shortly, and I haven't put any shadow in at the moment either. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wash my brush out, and I'm just going to pull the colour a bit so it gets a bit lighter. It's got a bit heavy. I'm also going to come round underneath here, although this is underneath the dish. But again, we'll see as we go along how we can build it up. So, shall we say, the downside of all of this is that normally, if I was doing a workshop, we'd have a whole day to do it. Well, here, we just haven't got a whole day to do this. So, as I'll keep saying, you can take your time. And again, here I'm just bringing the colour around, put a bit more colour under there. We will be putting some shadow in underneath here as well. But at the moment I'm putting what I call a base colour in. But again, I'm still taking here, I'm going to be doing this. This is the little pot that's in the middle. And I'm doing the colouring that way, not round like that, because what it will do, will give a feeling of it curving in to the middle of the pot. Now again, what I've done here is I've put a proper bottom into it. I can see in reality that doesn't quite work like that, but it's we're going to get too fussed about things. So we've got that happening, but you see again here, I don't know if you remember we did the poppy how we did the petals. Now again, at this moment in time, this colour's not dark enough in place. When I say dark, we're going to put some other darker colours in, not just more paint. Alright, so there's that. We're going to let that dry back a little bit. Now, again, I still want to work on this. I'm going to, I should have, sorry, excuse me a moment, I'm going to have to lean through here and grab one of my other paints. I should have had a dark brown out. There we go. Again, I'm just taking a bit of artistic liberty here because I'm going to make the colour a bit darker by just bringing a bit of brown, but this is burnt umber. I'm just going to thin that down. Now I will admit it's not quite the same colour as you're seeing here in reality, but you know, we'll have a bit of fun anyway. You can't, but I'm going to bring shadow there. We've got the edge of the dish is highlighted, but again I'm hoping my hand isn't getting in the way too much over this. There's shadow under here where the of the dish itself, but also the apple. This apple here is causing a shadow under here. And again, by curving it down, we again give a feeling of the shape of the dish. Again, here we've got the light coming from this side, so we've got the shadow here of the dish as well as a shadow from the fruit. Again, be quite careful. But again, I trust that you will take a bit more time than I'm able to take here. It's a bit darker there. We've got shadow from the light of the dish itself, but then we've also got the shadow from the fruit in the bottom of the dish. And here again we've got shadow here from the little pot here, but it's a bit lighter there because the light again is catching it between the light's coming between the two apples. But again, I'll just pull that over to this apple here. Be a bit careful, and then here again we've got the shadow coming round here. Again, I'm having to work fairly quickly. Quicker than I would normally like to do, but you know, we don't have the luxury of time when we're doing these things. It doesn't take long to get through to a 15-minute break. Be careful, not too much water. The yellow that I put on in the first place, I had time to dry off a bit, so again, there's a bit of shadow I can see under there as well. We can go a bit, when it's quite dark, now it's dried, I can see it needs to be a bit darker, so I'm going to bring some more colour into there. It's also, you might notice, a similar colour to the book. So what I'm going to do is, once I've done this, again under here, so just gradually building the colour up. Whoa, look at that. Oh dear. I'm just going to lighten it, and I'm going to take the moisture off the brusher here and just pull the colour, and can you see how it just thins it down? As it comes around again, we can pull this colouring here as well. A bit more shadow there, and a bit more shadow around there. Now there's also shadow under the little pot in the middle. So I'm just going to pull that down. Okay, so we're now going to have to finish for this session, and then we'll come back in a few minutes' time and do another session. Okay, well, thank you for now, and see you when we do the next